Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session on Digi Training for the Elderly. Actually, today in today's society, digital medium and this has become very important part of our life. Everywhere we are facing challenges. It has everywhere we have to be get accustomed to this form of communication. However, with the advent of digitization, there are some frauds, some invasions to privacy, etc. Various inconveniences are also happening, which many of us are not used to. We are in our times we haven't, means this is a very new development, and we have got to get used to this new thing. So there are a lot of we are hearing things like worms and viruses which are attacking our system. We as auditors, we have to do security audit, system audit, but there are things which we have to know about the system. There are certain frauds that are we ourselves are facing. There is banking frauds, etc. So we thought that this kind of a session would be important, especially for we are trying to target the elderly, because they are the people in today's new generation are more conversant with the digital medium. However, the elderly are not so much conversant. That is why this webinar is targeted more towards the elderly. However, anyone can join. So if any of your friends would like to join, you can still ask them to join today's session. Today we have with us a very experienced faculty, Ms. Janice Verghese, who is a techno lawyer, and she has a specialization in cyber law. She is currently working as a manager communications training in Cyber Peace Foundation, which is a non-profit organization. And she has sensitized over 1.5 lakhs citizens in the areas of online safety and digital literacy. She has also certain publications to her credit, which has been launched by CBSE recently. So I would like to welcome Ms. Janice Verghese to take up the session today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much for the warm welcome. A big thank you to everybody from ISE AI for the wonderful coordination. And we've been planning the session for quite some time now, and today finally it's happening. So thank you to everybody who has taken the time today and joined us. And as ma'am very wonderfully put that it's very important to have conversations on online safety. And especially over the past 2 years, our dependence on the internet has grown multifold. All of us are using the internet a lot more than we had even imagined, maybe 5 years back. And this is not going to change anytime soon. I mean, irrespective of whether COVID stays or not, the blended mode of working, blended mode of learning is here to stay. So the best thing to do is to equip ourselves with the knowledge needed to stay safe when we are online, and learn to identify the red flags which help us stay safe from risks, scams, and all kinds of malicious attacks going around in cyberspace. So today, through this very interesting presentation that I've created for all of you, I'll be trying to address some of the most common issues that are being faced online. And I hope this is useful for all of you. You can take screenshots or write down whatever points you feel are important. And we'll try to also share our contact details. So if anybody is going through any problem online, and if they wish to speak to us or get any kind of help, be it connecting with law enforcement, be it counseling, be it simply getting advice on being safe online, you can get in touch with us through the helpline, and we'll be more than happy to help you out.
So I would like to interrupt once.
Yes, ma'am.
Any kind of questions that are coming from the members, they can put up to us. They have the form for submitting the questionnaires, and we can take it up at the end of the session. We can keep around 5-10 minutes for that. And any questions coming from the members, we can address at the end of the session.
Right. So We've divided today's presentation into two parts. The first is going to be about data privacy and social media safety. Why data privacy? Because data is the most important commodity in today's world, and it's very important to not only understand the significance of data, but also know why somebody would want to steal your information. तो हमारे डेटा की जो अहमियत है, understanding that is very important. And more importantly, what are the various attacks being used by criminals to steal your information? It's very important to know how the criminal operates, what are the common modus operandi being used, so that if at all anyone tries that with you, you immediately realize, okay, something is happening, somebody is attempting to steal my data, and you can take appropriate action to kind of thwart it and to protect your information and your identities. So in the first half, we'll be discussing all these things very quickly. What is data? What is digital footprint? What are the most common cyber attacks that are being seen these days? And finally, what are some important privacy and security features that you can use, which are available on all platforms? In the second bit, we'll talk about responsible behavior. We'll talk about cyber ethics and digital well-being. So how can you identify fake news? How can you identify fake links? What are the important strategies that you can use to balance your online and your offline lives? We'll talk about all those things. And again, as ma'am said, if anybody has any questions, you can let the team know, and I'll be happy to address them towards the end of the session. We'll have a nice Q&A round where we'll try to give you as much information as possible. But again, if at all, there's only a limited amount of time that we have today, and there's a lot of information to cover. So getting the first bit started, what is data? What is digital footprint? Data is any information which has meaning. So any information like your photos, your videos, your login credentials, documents, your location, the data collected by applications, any information which has meaning is called data. And the most important kind of data that we should be aware of is your personal data. So information that is linked to you, information that is unique to you as an individual, that is all your personal data. And this is what a lot of criminals are after. If criminals get your information, specifically information which is unique to you, things like your username, your password, things like your account number, your Aadhaar card number, they can also steal your identities. So any information which is unique to you as an individual, if a criminal gets that information, they can steal your identity, they can commit all kinds of crimes using that information, and you'll be the one in trouble because essentially it is your identity which is being misused. So there are lots of crimes which can happen as a result of this data getting stolen. But before we get into that, let's first talk about what this data itself means. So all the information in your devices that is about you, that is related to you in any way, all of that is your personal data and is very, very important. Digital footprint is an extension of this. Digital footprint is the information that is left behind online as a result of your activities. Let me give you a simple example. So let's say today you hear about me for the first time. You hear about Cyber Peace Foundation for the first time. So typically what would we do? We would search for the keywords online. So you go to Google. I would also like to quickly share my screen and do this live when we're at it. Right. So you simply go to Google and you type Cyber Peace Foundation. Right. You go to Google, you type Cyber Peace Foundation, and this is all the information that Google has. There's all the information. There's a website page. There's an organization's page, website for the company. There's a Twitter handle. There's a LinkedIn page, Facebook page, so on and so forth. So basically, आपने कुछ यहाँ पे keywords डाले. You typed some keywords, and whatever information is available with the search engine, it is provided right in front of you. Now, this one simple Google search has resulted in your digital footprint being created. And the problem is many of us don't even realize that. And just imagine if one simple Google search can result in so much information being left behind. Just think of all the activities we do online, from using social media platforms, from posting things regularly, from so many things we search. All this results in information being left online. So very quickly, what are the digital footprints? That is, what are the kinds of digital footprint being left behind as a result of this Google search? Let's take a look at that. Number one, when you search for something on a search engine or a browser, the search engine and browser create a search history. So Google knows that at 3:10 p.m. on 1st October, a laptop or a computer in Delhi searched for Cyber Peace Foundation. They have made a note of this. So your search history is created. That is the first instance of digital footprint. First example is your search history, which is created by the browser and the search engine. Number 2 is every single thing that you're doing online. Your internet service provider also keeps track of it. Okay, now my Wi-Fi connection is, I've taken a Jio Wi-Fi connection. So Jio, the company Jio Reliance Limited, they know what I'm doing online. Of course, when I'm using Facebook or WhatsApp, they don't know what I'm doing inside the app, who I'm talking with, what my personal communication is. They don't know any of this, but they know the fact that at so-and-so point of time on so-and-so date, this person did visit a certain website. So they do keep track of your activities to a certain extent as well. And this is nothing to be alarmed of. This is how the internet works. This is how, functioning happens. So this is not something which should come to any of you as a surprise. This is how things have been since the advent of the internet. Right? So one, pehla to ho gaya, your search history, whatever you're searching, your search engine, your browser does keep a track of your history. Number 2, your internet service provider does know what you are doing. So whatever you're searching, whatever you're visiting, they do keep track of that. Number 3, the website itself also does collect some information about you. So let's say I searched for Cyber Peace Foundation and I visited their website. This website also notes down my IP address. IP address is a combination of 4 numbers, each ranging from 0 to 255. Right? So IP address is assigned to every entity which is connected to the internet. So your laptop, your iPad, your watches, your desktops, every device connected to the internet is given an IP address. And this IP address is used to keep track of these devices. So your IP address is your identity when you are connected to the internet. Now, my device has an IP address. You can quickly check your IP address as well by visiting the website whatismyip.com. You simply visit whatismyip.com and this is what opens up. It takes a few minutes to figure out what your IP address is. And very shortly, you will see my 4-digit, IP address here. And you will also see some more information. So what is my IP location? My location is Delhi. So mera IP bhi Delhi ka hai. My IP location is Delhi. And who is my ISP? ISP is Internet Service Provider. My Internet Service Provider is Reliance Jio Infocomm Limited. So I have a Jio connection. I am situated in Delhi and my IP address will be visible to you very shortly. So basically, whenever you visit a website, they also collect this information. So one single click, we don't really realize how much information we are leaving behind as a result of these activities, but it's a lot of information. There you go. My IP is 49.36.182.37. अगर किसी भी platform पे मैं कुछ illegal करती हूँ, if I do anything illegal on any platform, that platform will collect my IP address. Not because I'm doing something illegal, but because that's standard protocol. So every website I visit, because they have my IP address, if at all I do something illegal, and if a complaint is filed, the police will contact the website, collect my details, which will include my IP address, and using my IP address, my actual location will be figured out. That is how it works. That is how the police investigates. So this IP address is what is used to track every user who's connected to the internet, and it is assigned by your internet service provider. So very quickly, recap of what we've talked about. Data is any information which has meaning. Digital footprint is the information left behind online on a platform or anywhere as a result of your online activities. So these two terms are very important, very relevant in today's world, because data has become the most important commodity, and criminals are coming up with new ways every single day to catch hold of your information. But how exactly are they doing this? Before we go into that, why would someone want your data in the first place? Why would someone want your email? Why would someone want your pictures? These are just some of the most commonly observed problems that people face if their data is compromised in any way. Sabse pehle, identity theft can happen, as I mentioned earlier as well. If any information of yours, which is unique to you, if any criminal catches hold of that information, they can steal your identity. They can steal your identity, they can pretend to be you, and you will be the one in trouble because your identity is being misused, right? So identity theft can happen with you. The next is unauthorized access to accounts. Unauthorized access to accounts in very simple words is your account getting hacked. So if any individual is using your, is using your system, your device, your, your account, anything owned by you without your permission, they have gained unauthorized access. It's illegal under Indian laws, and using your information, this is possible. Let me give you an example how. A lot of people have a very common habit, and this is very important for everyone to note. And please, do make a note of all these, small tips and tricks that really go a long way. So a lot of people have the habit of using names, mobile numbers, and dates of birth as passwords, right? So parents use, each other's names as their passwords, or they use their children's names as passwords. Children use their dog's name, cat's name, best friend's name, boyfriend's name, or their date of birth, or their mobile number. If you use such things as your passwords, which have meaning, be it a name, be it a combination of letters, be it a combination of numbers, if it is meaningful, it can be guessed within seconds, which is why under no circumstance are you to use a password which is meaningful. For every account that you have, please use passwords which are absolutely meaningless, right? So using names, using mobile numbers, using dates of birth is not wise at all. Rather, it makes it very easy to break into your accounts. So if at all you are using such things as your passwords, and if any criminal goes through your profile, essentially they can guess all your passwords because all that information is right there, right? So all your information should be protected, number one, and it should have no relation with any of your passwords. Otherwise, your accounts can be compromised within seconds. Next is financial frauds. Again, if anyone has your financial details, your card details, your PAN card details, any information related to your finances in your accounts, you can use it to steal your money from your accounts as well. So financial fraud is a very real risk. And finally, extortion. If anybody has your photos and videos, they can use it to extort money from you. They can send you, they can blackmail you saying, hey, I have your private pictures, pay me 1 lakh rupees or I will leak your photo everywhere. And in most situations, the only option the victim has is to actually, pay the money because they don't know how to deal with the situation. So these are some of the most common risks associated with data theft. Now, talking about how exactly are they doing it? How exactly is your data being compromised? The most common technique is simply browsing your social media accounts or simply browsing websites where people post things. So this is a website I came across a couple of months back, and this website is called India Consumer Complaints Forum. Now, this is not an authorized Government of India website. This is not a forum, an official forum. It's a random forum which has been opened by a group of people, and they're helping grieved customers solve their problems. So I visited this website because I wanted to file a consumer complaint. So I had ordered something a couple of months back, and unfortunately the order was not delivered within the stipulated time. It was supposed to come on a Sunday, but it came almost 3 weeks later. So I got really angry and I wanted to file a complaint. So I searched online, file a consumer complaint, and this website popped up. Now, like every other user, I visit the website, I kind of read, what is happening, what are the complaints people are putting in, are there, complaints being redressed, what is the status here? So I came across this one particular, page within the website where one fellow had posted a lot about an order they had placed. So this person called Shakti, on December 20th, 2020, they posted a complaint that from Flipkart, they ordered a Butterfly Rapid 4-jar 750 watt juicer mixer grinder. The order ID is this number, and it was delivered on 30th October, but the product is damaged and they want a refund and a replacement. Now they are saying that they connected with the Flipkart customer care. Flipkart customer care is not doing anything. What do I do? My money is gone, product is gone, no help, nobody's helping me. So because they were desperate, they put the complaint on this page. Now, the problem is, essentially, I can figure out everything about this person right from this complaint. I know their order number. I know what they purchased, when they purchased, and when it was delivered. And if I was reading the entire complaint, they even mentioned their email address and their mobile number. Now, this is where the problem begins. I can very easily call this fellow and say, you know what, I'm calling from Flipkart. You placed an order with us on so-and-so date. Is product का order है, order number ये है. आपका हम refund करना चाहते हैं. Please give me your card details. I will, initiate a refund right away. And there are very high chances this person will believe you. So this is the most common technique which is used to steal your information. People are going to use your information that you yourself have shared maybe on a website and use it to trick you. So if at all you're facing a problem online, if at all you're in any kind of, you're in trouble, you're facing any kind of problem, please don't post everything publicly on any website. A lot of people these days, what they do is, koi problem aati hai, they tweet it out immediately. Again, there's nothing wrong in calling out a company for their whatever, subpar services or whatever. But don't share everything about the problem that you're facing, because then you're opening yourself up to be scammed by n number of people who are reading all that information that you're posting out there. So if at all you're facing a problem, maybe just tag the company and say, you know what, I need help, contact me ASAP. They definitely will connect with you, and through private message, you can share your information and make sure the issue is resolved. But sharing things publicly can be a very, very, very unsafe practice. Also, one interesting thing for all of you to remember, there is a wonderful website which has been set up by the government, which is the Consumer Helpline Forum. So you go to consumerhelpline.gov.in. It's a very simple URL to remember, consumerhelpline.gov.in. Simply go to this website and you can file a complaint here. I myself have filed, I think, close to 10 complaints here over the past 6 months, and all of them were resolved within 10 days. अगर scam हुआ है तो ये काम नहीं करेगा. If you have placed an order with a fraudulent website, if it's a fraudulent website and you placed an order and now you want your money back, then the consumer helpline will not work because a crime has happened. But if it's a trustworthy company, if it's a legitimate, if it's a genuine company, and there is genuinely a problem that you're facing with them, you place an order and you found, you received something which is defective and they're not replacing it, or any issue of that kind, then you can visit the consumer helpline, portal, consumerhelpline.gov.in. Go here, log in, file a complaint. Within 10 days, issue will be resolved. That's how simple it is. ठीक है जी? तो randomly यहाँ post नहीं करना है, because if you post it here and there, the information can be accessed by virtually anybody on the platform, anybody accessing the website, and they can use it to trick you and to scam. Now, other than this, most commonly, all the techniques that are being used to steal data are different forms of social engineering. Social engineering is a process. In fact, the example I gave you earlier, this is also a way of social engineering. They have gathered information about you and they're using that very information to trick you and to get your personal information. So all these techniques that are used to steal your information, to get you to give up your personal information, all of that falls under social engineering. Specifically, if we want to talk about some attacks, then the first is phishing, P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G. Phishing is a process through which criminal will send you a link and they'll try to redirect you to a login page which is fake and try to steal your username and your password. Okay, let me give you a real example. What you see on the screen is an actual conversation that I had with a very dear friend of mine last year. So on February 14th last year, this friend texted me on Facebook Messenger. Hey Janice, I'm participating in a singing competition. This is my video. Please vote for me because voting is over in 1 hour. I said, sure, no problem at all. So I clicked on the link. And now here is where the problem begins. I clicked on this link. This is the link. Now, if you look at the link carefully, the URL is bit.do/YouTube watch 3Q and BV8S. आगे कुछ numbers later, वो important नहीं है. But the main domain name here, bit.do/YouTube watch. The name YouTube is there, but this is not how a genuine YouTube link looks. आप YouTube की कोई भी वीडियो निकाल लें, उसमें bit.do YouTube watch नहीं होता. It's simply youtube.com/some identifier like this, like, whatever this 3Q and BV, whatever this is. The word youtube.com, the URL youtube.com is not there. So this is not an actual YouTube URL, but they will very smartly, very slyly, they'll put the YouTube word in between so that the person looking at it, the viewer thinks, oh, this is probably genuine because YouTube likha to hua hai. Anyway, I knew something was wrong here because the minute I received this link, I called up my friend and I said, her name is Catherine. I called her up and I said, you know what, Catherine, so I know you're a good singer and I really know that, if you were participating in the competition, you'll win. But why are you texting me on Messenger? I mean, you met me yesterday. You could have just, sent me a text on WhatsApp. You could have just come over and, maybe had dinner with me. Why are you texting me on Messenger? It's so weird. We don't talk on Messenger. Then she said, Janice, I have no idea what you're saying. Kya baat kar rahe ho tum? What link? What message? What are you saying? That's when I realized that Catherine, my dear friend, doesn't even know what is happening. And this is the problem. Many times the links that you receive may seem to be coming from people that you know, but they may not really be talking to you. It may be somebody else misusing their accounts. So I realized this person I was speaking to wasn't my friend Catherine. Someone used the same attack with her, tricked her, got her username and her password, and was now trying to trick me. And had I fallen prey to it, they would have then used my account to trick all my friends as well. Right? So how do you identify if these links are suspicious or if they're trustworthy? So first things first, whenever you click on a link, आप किसी भी link पर click करते हैं, and if it takes you to a login page of any kind, please close it immediately. A login page is a page where you enter your username and your password. ठीक है जी? So when I clicked on this link, it took me to this page, this login page, which looks like the Facebook login page. Facebook का logo है, Facebook लिखा भी हुआ है. It looks like Facebook, same color scheme, same structure, same everything. And 99% people will enter their username password here thinking it is genuine, but it actually isn't. This is a fake page which has been created purely to trick you. It has been created to trick you. You will look at this, you will look at the URL, you will look at the page, you will enter your username and password, and literally आपने अपना username password criminal को एक plate में दे दिया है. ठीक है जी? So the first thing to keep in mind is if ever you click on a link and if it takes you to a login page is a page where you enter username and password, please close it immediately. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, always analyze the URL carefully. Now here, the URL is the link at the top. So what does the URL say? mamdo.twitevents.org/mbf/bvp/php. Facebook शब्द कहीं नहीं लिखा है. If you look at the actual Facebook login page, let me quickly show you that as well. Just give me a second. Hanji. So if I try to open the actual Facebook login page, this is how it looks. Number 1, अब तो structure भी change हो गया है. Number 1, this. Number 2, switch to English. This is how it looks now. And if you look at the URL at the top, it simply says facebook.com. Because I changed the language, it says en-gb, but otherwise it simply says facebook.com. All the words in the slide that we saw, all these are unnecessary random words. They are not there in the actual Facebook login page, which means somebody has created a duplicate page to trick you. So this is what you have to keep in mind. Look at the page carefully. If at all a link is taking you to a login page, it's a phishing attack, close it immediately. And even if you do open the link and even if you don't want to figure out if it's true or not, look at the URL. URL में जो words हैं, आपको वो देखकर ही immediately idea लग जाएगा if the link is to be trusted or not. That's how simple it is. ठीक है जी? So if at all anybody is sending you such phishing links, the person you are speaking with, please call them, contact them and ask them who is using your account. It is possible somebody else is misusing their account and they don't even know. Very real possibility. ठीक है जी? Also, Google Chrome and other browsers, they give you warnings like these. If at all you try to open a phishing link, you'll get a bright red warning. There is a deceptive site ahead. Please be careful. So if at all you try to open such links now, once they've been reported, you'll get a warning, which confirms the doubt this is a suspicious link, it's a phishing attack, and that you have to close it immediately. Okay, ji? So we've spoken about phishing. Another variant of this is vishing. Vishing stands for voice phishing. Okay? People will call you and they'll try to sell you all kinds of stories and trick you to so that you end up giving up your personal information. So they'll say a lot of things. Let me give you one very interesting example. This is a scam that has been going around for I think over 2-3 years now. इनफैक्ट कल परसों ही मुझे फिर से ये आया था व्हाट्सएप पे. रैंडम नंबर्स विल सेंड यू मैसेज ऑन व्हाट्सएप एंड से सर आप जीत गए हैं लॉटरी, एंड दे इवन सेंड यू रिकॉर्डिंग्स. सो दिस इज द वीडियो. They'll say very interesting things. ये देखिए आपका 25 लाख रुपए का चेक, and you can see SBI 25 deposit slip attested. They'll try to make it look very, very, very genuine. They've used the Prime Minister's photo. They've used Amitabh Bachchan's photo. They will try to convince you कि भाई यही आपके सगे हैं, बाकी सब fraud है. Right? They'll send you these messages saying, this is the lottery number, you have won, 25 lakh रुपए मिले हैं, Jio करा रहा है. They will try to use every possible name, every possible logo to convince you this is genuine. But let me tell you a few things. सबसे पहले तो KBC lottery करवाता ही नहीं है. KBC is just the show. There is no lottery which happens first. Point number one. Point number two, unless you participated in the lottery, you're not going to win. Randomly nahi koi lottery hota. You need to participate to actually win in a lottery, right? So you can very easily identify these are all scams. Now, all of you, I'm sure, are already aware of this, but this is just one example out of so many happening every single day. Just today, I got a very interesting, link from my friend. Tata ke naam se fraud ho raha hai. Let me quickly show you that as well. So in the name of Tata scam is happening. क्या कर रहे हैं इन्होंने फालतू के links फालतू की website बना दी है that free Tata Nexon, the car Tata Nexon is being distributed. So they will take any company's name to make it sound legitimate. They will take any company's name. So what you have to keep in mind is that all of these are scams, all of these are frauds, and you will not believe any of it. Let me quickly switch my screen and show you that as well. There you go. Just a second. Hanji. So abhi to, if I click on the link, it's giving me this warning. But if I dismiss and if I go ahead, I think, okay, it's been blocked. It's been blocked. Somebody reported and it's been shut down. But kya ho raha tha pehle, if you open this link, it will show you the Tata logo and it'll say Tata is celebrating its 40th anniversary. They want to give you free Nexon gaadi baant rahe hain, ye hai, wo hai. So they had put pictures of the car, pictures of people from the company. So they will do everything to make it look legitimate. But you have to keep in mind that unless the information comes from the official social media handles or from the official website of the company, you are not to believe it. ठीक है जी? And कोई भी phone करके कुछ भी आपको बता दे, you will not give any information. Please remember, if at all you have to receive money, you do not need to give OTPs or UPI pins to receive money. Okay? You don't need to share your pins or OTPs to receive money. If anybody is asking you for your OTP or your pin, please remember, money will be debited from your accounts. ये बहुत लोग उल्लू बनाते हैं कि जी आरबीआई के रूल्स हैं, 10,000 से ऊपर की पेमेंट के लिए यूपीआई पिन देना पड़ता है. इट्स ऑल बकवास है, सब बकवास कर रहे हैं. इट्स ऑल नॉनसेंस. डोंट बिलीव एनी ऑफ इट. ठीक है जी? यूपीआई पिन एंड और ओटीपी, इफ यू आर शेयरिंग मनी, डेफिनेटली विल बी डेबिटेड. ठीक है? सो वी हैव स्पोकन अबाउट फिशिंग, वी स्पोकन अबाउट विशिंग. नेक्स्ट इज smishing. Smishing is another variant which happens through SMS. Most commonly happening in the name of the income tax department. So they will send you these messages saying, oh, I'm so sorry, just a minute. Yes. So they will send you all these messages saying कि अरे आपका income tax returns वापस आ गया है, इस link पर click करें, validate करें. They will say all kinds of things. They will take the name of the department, they will take the name of the government. But again, the department, income tax department, does not communicate like this. Even if at all they send you messages, it will come officially from their email addresses or from verified, verified contacts. It will come from. Random messages nahi aate, right? So again, be a little careful of these things. Just because a message is saying something does not mean you believe it. इसके अलावा बेटिंग आजकल बहुत हो रही है. बेटिंग बेसिकली इज नॉट वेरी हार्मफुल. बेटिंग डज नॉट रिजल्ट इन यू लूजिंग एनी पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन पर से, बट दे डू ट्राई टू कलेक्ट योर इंफॉर्मेशन टू टारगेट यू लेटर. So this is a very good example of baiting. In the name of British Airways, this fake message was created and shared that for 44th anniversary मना रहे हैं and they are giving 1,000 tickets for free. All you have to do is click on the link. लिंक पर दबाएं. आपसे 3-4 सवाल पूछेंगे. अगर आप जीतते हैं तो आप कहाँ जाएंगे, किसको लेके जाएंगे, उनका नाम डालिए, अपना मोबाइल नंबर डालिए. They will simply ask for your mobile number and your email address. And the minute you give away your contact details, then the actual attack starts. They will then send you more convincing messages on your email, more convincing messages on your mobile to trick you and to cheat you. ठीक है जी? तो ये कुछ तरीके होते हैं जिन्हें यूज करके criminals might try to steal your data. If we talk at a bigger level, so this is all these attacks happen usually with users, with individuals it happens. Many times criminals also attack organizations. So all of you who are working, all of you who are a part of an organization in any capacity, please be very careful as an employee as well. As be it in whatever role you are in, be very, very careful of the links that you receive, of the attachments that you receive. Because one wrong click on a link or an attachment can result in malware getting installed on your devices. Malware stands for malicious software. Most commonly, it is in the form of spyware or ransomware. Once it gets installed, it starts recording you. It starts, recording your audio, recording your video. It starts copying your data. It can lock you out of your phone. आपके फोन को लॉक करके बोल देगा आप मुझे 1 लाख रुपए दीजिए वरना मैं आपका फोन अनलॉक ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ. So they can say things like that. They might lock your phone and say, give me 1 lakh rupees. Ransomware attack hota hai ye. If they're recording you secretly, it's a spyware attack. So there are lots of things which are happening. So you have to be a little careful of the attachments that you receive, even if it's with somebody who you trust, even if it's a family member, a friend, or a colleague sending you something. Unless you know what the link or the attachment is for, please don't open it. A very recent case, this big company called Kaseya, they were hit by a ransomware and they support businesses. That's the services they provide. And 1,500 businesses were compromised because of the ransomware attack. All the data was locked and the hacker said, give us this much amount of money or we are going to sell all your data online. In fact, a very major case happened in the US recently. A couple of months back, this oil supply company called Colonial Gas Pipeline, they were hit by a ransomware. The hacker said, give us $50 million or we are going to, we will not get your systems back online. This resulted in gas supply being disrupted. People were panic buying. People were stranded. There was no supply in quite a few states in the US. And that's a very big deal. So people were, panicking. There was a lot of tension that was being caused. A lot of problems were being caused. They tried to remove the ransomware, but failed. And they ended up paying the $50 million. So ransomware attacks are on the rise, and it's one wrong click, all that it takes. So be a little careful of the whatever you're receiving. And the best strategy would also be to not only being careful of whatever links you're clicking on, but also using a good antivirus and a good anti-malware software. ठीक है जी, बहुत सारी कंपनीज हैं. There is something called Kaspersky, there is Quickheal, there is McAfee, there is Norton. There are lots of companies. You will have to purchase. Free में कुछ नहीं आता है. फ्री का एंटीवायरस बेकार है, बहुत डेंजरस है. फ्री का एंटीवायरस कुछ नहीं होता है. Please use a trusted company's paid version of the software. Get a good antivirus for yourself, and that will keep your devices protected to a great extent. Okay, ji. Now talking about some important safety tips to keep in mind as far as surfing is concerned. Whenever you're surfing the net, please use private browsing modes. Okay, I'm not talking about incognito. Incognito kuch nahi karta hai. Incognito only prevents your Google search history from being created. That's it. It does not hide your information from the internet service provider. It does not hide your information from the website itself. It only prevents Google Chrome from tracking your history. That's it. But everybody else still knows what you're doing online. So there are multiple browsers out there. There's a wonderful company called Brave, Brave. Brave browser use kare. There's one more company called DuckDuckGo, DuckDuckGo. Use the products by these companies and they will keep you safe to a great extent. Additionally, please block pop-ups, please block ads. A lot of malware can come through ads and through pop-ups. थोड़ा सा आपको इसके भी मामले में careful रहना है. And as far as staying safe on social media is concerned, please keep your accounts private. ठीक है जी, your accounts should be private. Control the audience of your posts. अगर आप वैष्णो देवी में enjoy कर रहे हैं फैमिली के साथ, पूरी दुनिया को बताने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि वहां आप डुबकी लगा के पाप धो रहे हैं, घर में चोर आपके सोने में डुबकी लगाएंगे. ठीक है जी. So it's good to enjoy. It's good to share on social media. I love it. I post as frequently as possible. But who you are making your posts visible to, that's an important question you have to ask yourself. So if you're going out somewhere, you've bought something new, you're interested in something, whatever you're sharing, even if it's your personal opinions on something which is happening, do not share it publicly because it can be used to profile the kind of person that you are and then attack you accordingly. If somebody figures out, if you're interested, let's say, let me give you a very simple example. मान लो आप अगर एक political party में interested हैं और अगर आपने publicly दिया है कि ये party जो है ये A party B party से better है, मान ले आपने ये लिख दिया है, तो जो भी लोग आपका प्रोफाइल देख रहे हैं, they'll understand that you lean towards party A. आपको पार्टी A पसंद है, फिर वही बात लेके आपसे लोग बातचीत शुरू करेंगे. It can be a criminal also. But at least they'll know how to get a conversation started with you. Random person texts you, आप बात नहीं करेंगे, especially women and girls, women and children. बिल्कुल बात नहीं है. रैंडम कोई इंसान कर रहा है, मुंह नहीं उठा के देखेंगे. लेकिन मान लो कोई इंसान उन्हीं के एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट को लेके बात कर रहा है. किसी बच्चे को मैसेज किया कि हाँ तुम पबजी खेलते हो, मैं भी खेलता हूँ. There are very high chances the child will respond. PUBG although ban हो गया है, just an example. बच्चे का जो इंटरेस्ट है, महिलाओं का जो एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, ये कोई व्यक्ति यदि जान जाए तो इनसे बात कर पाना बहुत आसान हो जाता है. So please enjoy social media, but do that responsibly. Do not share at the cost of your privacy and your security. ठीक है जी. Now some important security settings are specific to platforms. कुछ टिप्स जो है वो हर एक के लिए एप्लीकेबल है. कुछ ऐसे फीचर्स जो स्पेसिफिकली कुछ प्लेटफॉर्म्स में मिलते हैं. So as far as Facebook is concerned, please activate two-factor authentication. This adds an additional layer of security on your accounts. So in addition to entering your username and password, you will also have to enter an OTP. So 2FA can be activated on every on every platform. So please do that. Facebook पर 2FA activate करें. Keep a track of authorized logins. Authorized logins is the list of every single website, device, browser which has access to your account. So all the entities which have access to your account is listed in the authorized logins. इसको frequently check करते रहें. If you see a new device, a new browser, maybe someone else has access to your account. Control the audience पे post already बता दिया है. Keep your accounts locked. You can hide your accounts from the public. You can keep it private. You can lock it so that nobody else can open your profile. Facebook has a wonderful feature called Profile Picture Guard. You can lock your profile picture so that nobody other than you can enlarge and view it. So lots of settings available. Take a look at them and activate them to keep yourselves protected. As far as safety on WhatsApp is concerned, WhatsApp पे तो भाई बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. Please keep your profile photo, your status update, your status, everything. Keep it visible to your contacts only. By default ये public होता है. ठीक है? By default is public. So please keep all your information on WhatsApp limited to your friends and your contacts only. There's a wonderful feature on WhatsApp using which you can restrict who can add you to groups. If you want everybody or anybody on WhatsApp to be able to add you to a group, you can choose everyone can add me. If you want to say only people in my mobile, जिनका number मेरे पास saved है, यानी मेरे contacts. If you wish that only your contacts should be able to add you, you can choose that option. And if you want no one to be able to add me, मुझे कोई group में add ना करे, you can choose that as well. You choose nobody can add me to groups. उसके बाद how will you join a group? You will receive a request. ठीक है? If anyone wants to add you to a WhatsApp group, you will receive a request. आपको link आएगा. Link पर आप खुद click करके group को join कर सकते हैं. Right? So a lot of crimes are happening. This is randomly groups create कर दिए जाते हैं. Similar numbers. तो मेरा number अगर 981818 something है, तो last digit change होता रहेगा और जितने बंदे उस number के हैं, all of them will be added to one group and then people will start sharing obscene and sexually explicit content. This happens, especially with children and women. It happens a lot. So if at all you want to restrict random people from adding you, take a look at this setting and restrict who can add you to a group. ठीक है जी? Another important thing is please keep a track of where all your WhatsApp web is active. WhatsApp web is using your WhatsApp on a laptop or a desktop. आप अपने मोबाइल में ही चेक कर सकते हैं. You simply open your WhatsApp account, click on the 3 dots on the right top corner and you will find something called linked devices. There you go. This is the list in my device. If I click on linked devices, it will very clearly tell me, just a minute. Okay, sorry. हाँ जी, ये मेरा फोन पे आ रहा था इसलिए मुझे एक सेकंड के लिए हटाना पड़ रहा है. तो अगर मैं अपना WhatsApp खोलती हूँ, if I open my WhatsApp, click on the 3 dots on the top right corner and click on a setting called linked devices. There you go. Entire list comes up. तो मेरा एक Google Chrome पे कहीं पे मैं एक्टिव हूँ. अभी 3:30 बजे मैंने लिंक लॉगिन किया था आपको एक लिंक दिखाने के लिए. सफारी मैक OS एक दूसरा डिवाइस है, उस पे मेरा एक्टिव था 11:46 AM. विंडोज के एक और सिस्टम में 12:53 को फिर एक्टिव हुआ था. So you can check where all your WhatsApp account has been used, and if at all you see unknown devices, if you think कि भाई ऐसे कहीं आपके पास तो है ही नहीं Windows, लेकिन कहीं Windows system में activate हुआ है, that means somebody has access to your WhatsApp. ठीक है जी, simple settings go really long way, so please go through them to keep yourselves protected. Next is for Gmail and in general for all your platforms, please use different and meaningless passwords. Number 1, login activity पहले ही मैंने बता दिया है. Keep login alerts activated. If ever you log into your account using a new browser, new device, you will be notified immediately. This is called login alerts. So please activate login alerts so that if ever there is anyone using your account, you are alerted immediately and you can take relevant action. You can take whatever action you need to block those attempts. Okay? Coming to the second half of today's session, we'll talk about cyber ethics and digital well-being. I hope everything has been very clear till now. If there are any questions, you can definitely share them with the team and I'll be happy to address them towards the end of today's session. So very quickly, what will we talk about in the next bit? We'll talk a little bit about being reasonable, being responsible, and of course, balancing our online and offline lives. Being responsible, my dear participants, has become so very important because all of us are living in a world where fake news has become as dangerous as the pandemic itself. We are living in the midst of an infodemic. There is so much of misinformation, malinformation, there's so much of disinformation. It becomes very difficult to understand what to believe and what not to believe, right? So most commonly, information can be classified as the following. Information can either be misinformation or disinformation or malinformation. So misinformation is information which is incorrect but has been shared by somebody who doesn't know. So let's say there is an article which said that the ozone layer, there's a gaping hole in the ozone layer. And let's say today, if that has been fixed, if today, it's actually a fact as well, the ozone layer has actually repaired itself over the past 2 years. So if today somebody says there's a hole in the ozone layer, once upon a time it was true, but now the situation has changed. So this is an example of misinformation. The person sharing it is sharing it because they think it's true, but they're not aware of the latest update. So there is no malintention here. They're doing it because they want to make the public aware. This is misinformation. Disinformation is sharing information out of context. Sharing information which is, not out of context, that's actually malinformation. Information which is, absolutely false, just creating wrong information and sharing it everywhere with the intention to incite fights or to incite some kind of violence. That is called disinformation. तो अगर बिल्कुल ही झूठी खबर कोई शेयर करता है, कोई अगर अफवाहें फैला रहा है with the intention to ruin somebody's reputation, maybe to harm a competitor or to maybe disrupt the peace in society, that is your disinformation. Malinformation is information being taken out of context with the intention to create problems. So I'm sure all of you remember there was a huge anti-CAA movement which happened in India. There were so many photos and videos which were being shared out of context. In fact, there was a video that was actually from Pakistan. I'll even give you a sample of, the video and how you can verify it. So there was a video which was from Pakistan, but it was shared saying कि ये इंडिया में हो रहा है. इंडिया में इन औरतों को दिल्ली में पैसे दिए जा रहे हैं ताकि ये लड़ाइयाँ करें. So something which has nothing to do with Delhi, nothing to do with India, let alone the anti-CAA movement, 2 साल पुरानी वीडियो को गलत तरीके से शेयर किया जा रहा है to discredit a certain community. So this is your malinformation. Information taken deliberately out of context to spread panic, to spread confusion, and to create hate and enmity. So अलग-अलग forms ले सकता है. Talking about verification itself, there are very simple ways using which you can identify if information is true or not. Number one, analyze the URL. URL पता है हर situation में काम आता है. Be it for fake links, be it for fake news. Analyzing the URL does let you identify how trustworthy that piece of information or the website is. Number one, analyze the URL. Number two, always cross-check with other sources. If news channel 1 is saying something, please check news channel 2, check news channel 3, check everywhere. Just because one newspaper or one news channel is saying something does not mean you close your eyes and you believe it. Check in multiple places. If everybody is saying the same thing, very high chances the information is true. ठीक है जी? And finally, also cross-check the authenticity of photos and videos. Just because there is a photo, just because there is a video, does not mean the information is true. I will also be talking about image verification in a few minutes. So please do take a note of all those things as well. Very quickly, URL की बात करते हैं. यहाँ पे देखिए, if you look at the URL, it says dailynews12.com. I have never heard of it. The caption says a guy from NCT becomes a millionaire using this method. Very attractive, very catchy. ऊपर लिखा है India Money Online. Just a minute. For some Indian Money Online, and here the URL is Daily News 12. They don't match. They have no relationship with each other. Random names, random URLs, random person's fellow. And when I read the entire article, the fellow was changing. यहाँ पे एक बंदा लंबा चौड़ा बंदा बैठा हुआ है Mercedes पे, थोड़ा नीचे गई, it became a very short guy. So how is the person changing? मतलब ऐसे height कम तो नहीं होती लोगों की over time. So, it was pretty ridiculous. So you can simply look at the, some of these things to identify if the link is to be trusted or not. Okay, ji? Talking about photos, this is going to be very, very interesting. There's a wonderful process which you can use to find the truth behind any photo or video, which is called reverse image search. Reverse image search. This is the process using which what you do is you just very simple, बहुत simple process है. What you do is you upload an image onto the search engine and the search engine gives you information about the image. ठीक है जी. What you see on the screen is a picture which went very viral, a couple of weeks back. And the caption for this image was that 5G technology has resulted in birds dying. 5G टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से बर्ड्स जो है वो मर रहे हैं एंड सरकार को 5G बंद कर देना चाहिए, नेचर खत्म हो रहा है, ये है जी, वो है जी. The same photo went viral in the southern part of India saying that this is happening because of a heat wave. चेन्नई में, तमिलनाडु में एक बहुत ही भयंकर हीट वेव आया जिसकी वजह से सारे बर्ड जो है वो मर गए. So either way, it's very hard for me. बुरा लगता है. It's you feel very bad. Oh my God, so many hundreds and hundreds of birds have died. So much loss of life, so much damage. Why? Because of technology. So a lot of people were hurt, and this also resulted in people kind of revolting against the telecom companies. Because it's आपकी वजह से ये हो रहा है. आपने इतने टावर लगा दिए हैं, चिड़िया मर रही हैं, खत्म हो रही है. काफी हंगामा हो गया था. बट एक्चुअली स्टोरी क्या है? सो आप क्या करेंगे? कुछ नहीं करना है आपको. ये फोटो ना मैंने डेस्कटॉप पे भी सेव कर रखा है. तो आपको क्या करना है? यू विल सिंपली गो टू द वेबसाइट. जस्ट अ मिनट, लेट मी जस्ट क्विकली ओपन गूगल क्रोम. हाँ जी, जस्ट गिव मी अ सेकंड. मैं जरा वेब पेज खोल के आपको दिखा दूं. बहुत सारे फालतू टैब्स खुले हैं. ठीक है. So what you will do is, if at all you want to find the truth behind an image, what will you do? You simply go to images.google.com. ठीक है, images.google.com. आपने इस पे जाना है. ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. It's basically like your Google search. It is Google searching, but you here additionally you can upload images as well. You are searching by image. That is the whole point of this process. So you simply click on this icon of a camera. You upload an image. So I will pick the image of the birds from my desktop. Just give me a second. हाँ जी, तो मैं अपने desktop से ये लो. I have selected the picture with the birds in it. I have uploaded the file and this is the result. तो ये फोटो अपलोड हुई है. ऑटोमेटिकली कैप्शन उठा लिया गूगल ने, बर्ड्स डाइड इन इंडिया, बिकॉज इट हैज गॉन मोस्ट वायरल इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ इंडिया. So after this, you simply go to the images section. यहाँ पे देखिए, same image everywhere. You click on visually similar images. So basically, there are so many websites where the same image has been uploaded. The first entire row is of the same images. इनमें से किसी भी क्लिक करो आप. Click on any of them and open the article, open the web page. This is an article by Alt News and they very clearly say an old image of dead birds shared as 5G technology caused the deaths. So this is an old picture. ये जो पूरी कहानी यहाँ 5G के नाम पे जो कहानी दी गई है, it's all nonsense. It's not to be trusted. It's fake news. ये जो भी चेन्नई के नाम में बोला गया कि चेन्नई में हीट की वजह से हुआ, ये भी फेक न्यूज है. ये एक्चुअल स्टोरी क्या है? This is actually from Bihar. This is not from Chennai. This is not from, this is not because of 5G. बिहार में 12 साल पहले, 12 years back in Bihar, एक फार्म था जिस फार्म में मतलब जहाँ खेती बाड़ी हो रही थी, वहां पे जितने जो फसल थी, the farmers had sprinkled pesticides. Pesticides were sprinkled. And because of the birds consumed seeds with the pesticides, and because of that poison, they died. So this has nothing to do with the heat wave, nothing to do with 5G. Different incident which happened 12 years back, और उस फोटो को गलत तरीके से यूज किया जा रहा है. आप कोई भी दूसरा कोई सेकंड पिक्चर भी अगर आप खोलेंगे, तभी भी आपको सेम फंडा मिलेगा. So the point is, you upload an image to the internet. You try to find the same image everywhere, and that is how you reach to the actual truth behind. Again, वीडियो एक इमेज शेयर करी गई कि 5G टेस्टिंग की वजह से इतने सारे बर्ड्स मर गए हैं. It's all nonsense. What is the actual truth? देखो, फैक्ट देखो यहाँ पे. क्लेम है, फेक न्यूज क्या है कि ये hundreds of birds died because of 5G testing. What is the fact? In 2009, there was, ये वही सेम जो मैंने आपको बताया, incident in Bihar, where the birds died because they consumed seeds containing high dosage of pesticides. has nothing to do with 5G, has nothing to do with heat. ठीक है जी? So that is how simple it is. You simply upload the image onto the internet. How? By using your reverse search techniques. So आप images.google पे जा सकते हैं, आप reverse.photos पे जा सकते हैं. Simply go to these websites, upload the image, and you will be able to find the truth behind it. ठीक है जी? What about videos? This is a very interesting video. ये वायरल गया था अभी 1-2 हफ्ते पहले ही, 2-3 महीने से वायरल जा रहा है. I'm not sure if the video is very clear, but I'll try to keep it, as clear as possible. So this video, it shows this, worm-like things in a mask. So somebody shared a video saying कि जो surgical mask है नीले रंग का, you place those masks over a cup of hot water and you will see worms coming out of it. So all these big companies are making masks and they're using these masks to infect us and kill us. This is more dangerous than COVID. People got really angry. People got really scared. काफी panic हो गया. In fact, when I saw the video for the first time, I was wearing a mask myself and I immediately ripped the mask off my face because it's very scary to read. It's very disturbing to see also. So they've put this video where something like a worm is moving and zoom out करके देखेंगे तो actually एक महिला ने कप के ऊपर ये रखा हुआ है, मास्क रखा हुआ है. Now again, how do you identify if this is genuine or not? कुछ नहीं करना है. You will simply search online. आप online search करेंगे mask space worms space fact check. बस. Just search the keywords. First article itself. Those are fiber threads, not worms in your face mask. Simply clicked on the article, same video going viral. You can simply read the entire article and it says कि इस इंसान ने तो मास्क पे आग लगा दिया because कीड़े हैं. इतना वायरल हो गया था ये. So there you go. This is a video I showed all of you. This is fake. Absolutely fake. They actually did the same thing. They also analyzed a mask under, they zoomed in, they काफी अच्छा microscopic उस पे उन्होंने analyze किया. They also found similar things, but these are all fiber threads. ठीक है? And the reason why it was moving is because of the hot water. All of you, I'm sure, are aware, hot air is warmer than cold air. तो अगर एक गरम कप का एक पानी में गरम पानी का अगर मैं कप रखती हूँ, if I have a cup with hot water, the air above the cup is going to turn hot, which will result in that air moving upwards. ठीक है जी? गरम पानी का एक कप है, उसमें उसमें से जब भाप निकलती है तो air गरम हो जाता है and that air tends to move upwards because it's lighter, and that results in the mask, in the fiber, fiber threads in the mask moving, and also because the person recording is breathing. So हवा की वजह से ये threads move हो रहे हैं और लोगों ने कहानी बना दी कि भाई ये तो कीड़े हैं. So very simple, just because there is a photo or a video does not mean you believe it. Cross check yourself. Images का मैंने आपको बता दिया है. Videos के लिए simply keywords Google पे search करें and you will be able to find out if it is to be trusted or not. Final golden rule for everybody: do not believe everything that you see online. Just because somebody has posted something online does not mean you believe it. अपनी तरफ से cross check करेंगे. चाचा जी हो, मामी हो, ताऊ जी हो, चाची जी हो, कोई भी आपको मैसेज भेजे, कोई आप या कहीं पे भी कुछ आप पढ़े, just because it's there online doesn't mean you believe it. Please cross check yourself, and that will really help you identify what information is true and what is not. Next is being responsible. Avoid sharing everything about yourself, what you do, what you don't do, what you like, what you're eating, where you're going. Everything is not meant to be on social media. Again, I'm not saying everybody should just quit social media. I love social media. I think it's a wonderful platform. It helps you, connect with people, helps you networking. And I've really grown as a person, through social media. I've made very good relationships, very good friendships. It's wonderful. But that does not mean you start doing everything online. Limit yourself. Don't post everything about yourself because it can be used against you. Number 2, don't grant unnecessary permissions to apps. A lot of applications ask for a lot of permissions, but just because you're asking for permissions does not mean you have to grant them. Think very, very logically. If you think this permission is needed for the app to function, तो grant करेंगे, वरना नहीं grant करेंगे. ठीक है जी? अगर कैंडी क्रश बोलता है मुझे लोकेशन चाहिए, क्यों भाई? आपके शहर की कैंडीज दिखा रहा है वो, आपके मोहल्ले के हलवाई की मिठाइयां दिखा रहा है वो, नहीं, तो लोकेशन क्यों देना है? So you have to think logically yourself. For example, अगर Uber location मांगता है, without your location, Uber will not be able to pick you and drop you. It needs your location to send the car to your house. So think logically. Only if the permission is needed for the app to function will you grant it. फालतू permissions अगर मांग रहे हैं आप grant नहीं करेंगे. And if at all, let's say you've granted permissions and now you feel, ज़्यादा हो गया है, नहीं देना चाहिए था. In situations में आप क्या करेंगे? You can very easily, let me quickly show you how to fix that as well. You go to your mobile settings and you search for permissions. ठीक है जी, मोबाइल सेटिंग्स में जाके आप परमिशंस सर्च करेंगे. लेट मी जस्ट शो यू माय फोन वेरी क्विकली. गो टू योर मोबाइल सेटिंग्स, सर्च फॉर परमिशंस. ठीक है जी, क्लिक ऑन इट एंड आपको पूरी लिस्ट मिल जाएगी. यू विल फाइंड द एंटायर लिस्ट. सो लुक एट दिस. मेरा कैमरा 17 out of 57 apps have permission. 17 out of 57 apps have permission to use my camera. आगे देखते हैं आगे और क्या परमिशंस है. कैमरा मैंने बता दिया. कॉन्टैक्ट्स देखो, 22 out of 63 apps can use contacts. लोकेशन देखिए, 24 out of 61 can use my location. माइक्रोफोन देखिए, 17 out of 51, so on and so forth. So the entire list is there in your settings. Settings में जाएंगे, मोबाइल सेटिंग्स में जाके सर्च फॉर परमिशंस, पूरी लिस्ट मिल जाएगी. इफ यू सी अननेसेसरी परमिशंस, इफ यू थिंक आपने कोई फालतू परमिशन दे दिया है किसी ऐप को, click on the permission, remove the app. They will not be able to use that component or that data in your device anymore. Please, share responsibly. Again, just because you're sitting behind a screen does not mean all kinds of behavior is warranted, especially younger users. Do not say things online that you wouldn't say face to face. अगर आप किसी को मुंह पे एक चीज नहीं बोलेंगे तो ऑनलाइन भी बोलना वो गलत है. Right? The people, you may not be able to see people when you're speaking online, but they're very real and they do get hurt. Your words are as, hurtful or as supportive offline as they are online. And they're as, hurtful or online as they're offline. So just because you're behind a screen, just because you can't see who you are speaking with, does not mean they won't feel bad. So be very careful with the words that you're using. Try to be as supportive. And if you're unable to be supportive, don't speak. अगर सिर्फ गलत ही बोल पा रहे हैं तो उनसे बात ही ना करें. Conversation छोड़ दें. Leave the conversation. Leave it there and there. But don't go out of your way to make somebody feel bad or hurt somebody. ठीक है जी. Safe downloading, again, very important for people of all ages. Whatever you are downloading, जहां तक apps की बात है, please use Play Store, App Store only. Do not use any other source. If you can't find an application on Play Store and App Store, don't download it. Play Store, App Store पे अगर ऐप नहीं है तो मतलब या तो वो इंडिया में रिलीज नहीं है या इंडिया में बैंड है. Either way, you should not be using it. ठीक है जी. So use App Store and Play Store only for apps. For software, you can either visit the official website या फिर you can go to Microsoft Store. अगर हम ऑडियो की बात करें, अगर गाने आपको चाहिए तो there is YouTube Premium, there is SoundCloud, there is Wink, there is Spotify, there is JioSaavn, Airtel Music. There are so many options. Get a subscription and use them to download songs. अगर आप randomly किसी वेबसाइट पे सर्च करके फ्री में डाउनलोड करते हैं, that is illegal. Piracy को आप प्रमोट कर रहे हैं. Please don't do that. Right? And as far as downloading apps is concerned, just because there is an app does not mean it's safe. Check if the app is genuine, check the developer details, check the ratings, read what people have written about the app. If you think it's trustworthy, then you download it, otherwise you don't. I am telling you this why? Because आजकल बहुत सारे fake apps बन रहे हैं. If I simply go to Google Play Store and search for Ludo King, there'll be at least 10 varieties. There'll be 10 Ludo Kings, सबका same logo होगा, same name होगा. How do you know which is genuine? The same is happening in the name of banking apps. बैंक के नाम पे recently I think PNB या SBI के नाम से किसी ने fake app बना के डाल दिया प्ले स्टोर पे. वो रिपोर्ट हो गया, हट गया, वो अलग बात है, बट ये हो रहा है. अगर आपने fake app को डाउनलोड किया और सारे अपने लॉगिन क्रेडेंशियल्स डाल दिए, you are literally giving your username and password to the criminal. They can steal all the money in your account. Right? So just be a little careful of the apps that you're downloading. Finally, finding a balance. Always remember, technology should be adding value to life, not distracting us from it. ठीक है जी. सो इट्स वेरी एसेंशियल टू फाइंड अ बैलेंस. अगेन मैं ये नहीं कह रही सारे फोन फेंक दो, अपने फोन को यूज करें, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट मेक श्योर दैट इट्स नॉट रिप्लेसिंग व्हाट इज एक्चुअली इंपॉर्टेंट इन लाइफ. Use it to enhance life, use it to enhance yourself, but do not make it, do not let it replace anything that's actually important in your life, like your relationships, your friendships, things like that. ठीक है जी. Now, how to find a balance? Step 1, assess your usage. How much time do you think you're spending online? ठीक है, अब मेरे से अगर कोई ये सवाल पूछता, my answer initially would have been I spent 1 hour on Facebook, मेरा maximum 1 hour, maximum 60 minutes. जब मैंने actually check किया, it turned out to be more than 2 hours. This is the problem. Your actual usage and your perceived usage are two different things. हमें लगता है कि भाई हम ज्यादा यूज नहीं करते हैं, actually check करोगे तो पता चलेगा भाई हम तो बहुत यूज करते हैं. So assess your usage. How much time are you actually spending? What are you spending so much time for? अगर आप दिन में 6 घंटा नेटफ्लिक्स देखते हैं, what's the point? I mean, इतनी एंटरटेनमेंट की क्या सही में आपको जरूरत है? Right? Ask yourself this question. And finally, the impact. How is it impacting you? You know, your mental health, your physical health, all of this gets, you know, सब उल्टा हो जाता है. आपकी आंखें वीक हो जाती हैं, आपके बॉडी का जो पोस्चर है वो बिगड़ जाता है फुल टाइम लैपटॉप के सामने बैठने से. आई मीन इट्स काइंड ऑफ आयरॉनिकल कि आप आज एक स्क्रीन के थ्रू देख रहे हैं और मैं यहीं पे आपको डिजिटल वेलबींग का ज्ञान दे रही हूँ. बट इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट, यू नो, हमारी मजबूरी बन गई है टू लुक एट अ स्क्रीन फॉर आवर वर्क, फॉर एजुकेशन, फॉर एवरीथिंग. बट एट द सेम टाइम यू कैन फाइंड अ बैलेंस. सो आइडेंटिफाई स्ट्रैटेजीज टू फाइंड अ बैलेंस. You can do this by using the digital wellbeing app. ये गूगल का ऐप है, ये प्ले स्टोर पे अवेलेबल है. पिछले 5 साल में जितने एंड्रॉइड फोन्स मैन्युफैक्चर हुए हैं, they all have this by default. If you don't have this by default, if you're an Android user, go to Play Store, download this. Apple users already have something called screen time and settings, screen time settings in the Apple devices. So you can firstly you can assess how much time you're spending. तो जब मैंने कुछ दिन पहले जब इसका स्क्रीनशॉट लिया मैंने पीपीटी बनाने के लिए, तो सुबह मैंने 8 बजे अपना फोन चलाना शुरू किया और दोपहर के 2 बजे मैंने जब स्क्रीनशॉट लिया, आई हैड ऑलरेडी यूज्ड माय फोन फॉर 5 hours. सुबह 8 से 2 के बीच टोटल 6 घंटे ही गए थे और 6 घंटों में से 5 घंटे 18 मिनट तो मैं ऑलरेडी अपने फोन पे लगी हुई थी. What did I do? I spent a lot of time on Instagram. Netflix पे पूरी मूवी देख डाली, हॉटस्टार पे 2-3 टीवी शोज देख डाले, व्हाट्सएप पे बहुत कुछ किया. So this is how your time goes. पता भी नहीं चलता है. तो सुबह से 6 घंटे हुए थे मेरे हिसाब से. मैं तो बड़ा काम किया है, बट एक्चुअली मैं 6 में 5 घंटा तो मोबाइल पे थी. That's a problem. We think we are not online, but we actually are. So assess your usage and then identify strategies. The Wellbeing app itself gives you a lot of options. You can set timers. If you think a particular app is taking up a lot of your time, for example, I think Netflix मेरा बहुत टाइम लेता है, तो मैं Netflix पे 1 घंटे का टाइमर लगा दिया है. एक दिन में 1 घंटे से ज्यादा मैं नेटफ्लिक्स यूज ही नहीं कर सकती. वो मेरी मर्जी है, मैं 1 घंटा एक ही बार में करूं कि 6 बार 10 मिनट चूज करूं कि 15 मिनट 4 बार को. दैट्स योर विश. बट in within every 24 hours you can use Netflix only for a total of 60 minutes. And once that 60-minute time period expires, the app gets locked. ठीक है जी. So please try to identify strategies. You can use the app, the digital wellbeing app, to for some of these settings. You can also use focus mode. So whenever I am working, I turn on focus mode. What it does is whichever applications I select, they get muted. Notifications पीछे आते रहेंगे लेकिन फोन बजेगा नहीं मेरा जोर जोर से. So you can try to minimize distractions by muting the apps through focus mode. तो बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस हैं, इनको प्लीज यूज करें एंड ट्राई टू फाइंड अ बैलेंस बिटवीन ऑनलाइन एंड ऑफलाइन. वन इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग फॉर ऑल द पेरेंट्स एंड ऑल द गार्डियंस, एवरीबडी हु हैज चिल्ड्रन एट होम, देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड द फैमिली लिंक ऐप. ये गूगल का ही है. Let me quickly show you how this looks. So ये जो kite है, this is the logo. It's available for Play Store and also for App Store. So Play Store पे जाके आप simply Google Family Link search करें. Parents के लिए एक वर्जन आता है, बच्चों के लिए एक वर्जन आता है. Install the Google Family Link app on your mobile and parents and guardians can keep a track of their children's activities. बच्चा क्या डाउनलोड कर रहा है, बच्चा कितना टाइम स्पेंड कर रहा है, बच्चा is the app appropriate for their ages, are they spending more time than needed. So all you need is a Google account. तो आपका जो Gmail अकाउंट है आप उसको डाल देंगे, बच्चे का जो Gmail अकाउंट है आप उसको फीड कर देंगे. काफी इजी है, आप सिंपली इसको इंस्टॉल करें, पूरा प्रोसेस आपको अपने आप पता चल जाएगा. You can use the Family Link app to keep a track of what your children are doing. And again parenting and everything is very, very important. All of you are experts at it. But one important tip I would like to leave with all of you, which is please have conversations about digital well-being. क्योंकि बच्चे जो होते हैं ना, वो बड़ों को देख के सीखते हैं. अगर पेरेंट्स खुद दिन भर फोन में लगे हुए हैं, ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स खुद फोन पे लगे हुए हैं, तो बच्चा भी फोन पे लगा रहेगा. So let's not be hypocritical. अपन खुद फुल डे फोन पे मीटिंग कर रहे हैं, सब कर रहे हैं, बच्चे को मेरा फोन मत यूज करो. It's not fair. So be an example yourself. Try to find a balance for yourself. Maybe simple strategies like Saturday. मतलब मेरा एक simple सा strategy है. Friday evening. Every Friday evening I turn off my mobile and it stays off till Monday morning. Monday वापस ऑफिस जाती हूँ मैं. तो Saturday Sunday 2 दिन फोन बंद है. ना फोन आता है किसी का, ना मैं किसी का उठाता, फोन बंद होता है मेरा. तो कोई डिस्ट्रैक्शंस नहीं है. आई एक्चुअली स्पेंड टाइम विद माय फैमिली. आई डू थिंग्स, आई रीड अ बुक, आई गो आउट फॉर अ वॉक, आई डू सम गार्डनिंग, आई प्ले विद माय कैट्स. व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू डू, व्हाटएवर यू कैन नॉट डू व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग, व्हेन यू आर स्टडीइंग, कीप सम टाइम फॉर दोस एक्टिविटीज ओवर द वीकेंड. तो ये एक एग्जांपल है. ऐसे बहुत सारी स्ट्रैटेजी आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं. आइडेंटिफाई स्ट्रैटेजीज एंड दैट विल रियली हेल्प यू फाइंड अ बैलेंस बिटवीन ऑनलाइन एंड ऑफलाइन लाइफ्स. Finally, if something goes wrong, कोई फोन करके फ्रॉड कर रहा है, कोई ऑनलाइन परेशान कर रहा है, बदतमीजी कर रहा है, हरास कर रहा है, anybody is troubling you in any way or you're facing any kind of issues online, the first option is to report it on the platform. If it's something that you don't want to see, somebody's posting about content, somebody's, being misbehaving with you, report them within the platform. You can always block them. ना तू मेरी शक्ल देख, ना मैं तेरी शक्ल देखूं. I love doing that. Block list में friend list ज़्यादा लोग हैं मेरे तो, but I think it's a wonderful feature. You can always block people and always report them. Also, please make sure that you report using the right reason. इंसान को रिपोर्ट कर रहे हो, चाहे बिहेवियर को रिपोर्ट कर रहे हो, चाहे कंटेंट को रिपोर्ट कर रहे हो, whatever you are reporting on a platform, please use the right reason. If you report randomly, action will not be taken. ठीक है जी. मतलब कोई आपको हरास कर रहा है और आपने स्पैम में रिपोर्ट कर दिया, एक्शन प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं लेगा उनके अगेंस्ट. यू विल कीप वंडरिंग भाई प्लेटफॉर्म है बेकार. प्लेटफॉर्म बेकार नहीं है, हमें रिपोर्ट करना नहीं आता. ठीक है जी. So please take some time, read the community standards or the community guidelines of the platforms. These are basically a set of rules which are to be followed by all the users on the platform. Read them, understand what the different reasons mean when you report things, a list of reasons which come up. Read what the reasons mean and accordingly appropriate reason use करके आप report करेंगे. अगर क्राइम हो रहा है, कोई ब्लैकमेल कर रहा है, थ्रेटन कर रहा है, कोई अश्लील सामग्री आपको भेज रहा है, somebody is making you feel unsafe, कोई बच्चे के साथ जबरदस्ती बातचीत कर रहा है, कोई बार बार आपको फोन कर रहा है मना करने के बावजूद, ऐसा कुछ अगर होता है, प्लीज फाइल अ कंप्लेंट इमीडिएटली. Go to the nearest police station, tell them what is happening, file an FIR. Once an FIR is filed, police will take action. If at all the police is not being supportive, police agar FIR nahi file kar rahi hai, but you know for a fact that a crime has happened, you can also escalate the matter by visiting somebody called the superintendent of police. ठीक है जी. अब मैं दिल्ली में रहती हूँ, दिल्ली में एसपी नहीं होते, दिल्ली में डीसीपीज होते हैं, डिप्यूटी कमिश्नर. सो यू कैन फिगर आउट, डिपेंडिंग ऑन विच स्टेट यू आर इन. तो सिंपल सा मैं एग्जांपल आपको दिखाती हूँ. कल मैं एक सेशन कर रही थी गोवा के साथ, तो मैं जरा आपको फटाफट गोवा पुलिस का ही दिखा देती हूँ, बिकॉज आई रिमेम्बर वेयर टू फाइंड. बाकी स्टेट्स में आई माइट स्ट्रगल, तो जो पता है वही मैं दिखा देती हूँ आपको. तो सिंपली मैंने गोवा पुलिस सर्च किया, गोवा पुलिस की वेबसाइट मिल गई. यहाँ पे देखिए बढ़िया सा यहाँ पे ऑप्शन है फोन नंबर्स. सिंपली क्लिक ऑन फोन नंबर्स, पूरी एक्सेल शीट खुल के आ जाती है. देखो एक्सेल शीट है, क्या दिक्कत है, कहाँ पे दिक्कत है. यहाँ पे right from the inspectors to the superintendents, everybody's number is given, that to area wise. ठीक है. So whatever state, whatever city you are in, आप पुणे में है, मुंबई में है, दिल्ली में है, कहीं और है, हैदराबाद में है, जहां पे भी आप हैं, आप अपने स्टेट या सिटी पुलिस का जो वेबसाइट है उसको सर्च करें. You will find the directory. All this information is public. ये पुलिस की इंफॉर्मेशन पब्लिक होती है. तो एसपी डीसीपी जो भी आपको मिलता है, आप उन्हें कांटेक्ट करें, उनको बताएंगे क्या दिक्कत हो रही है, and they'll definitely help you. They have the power to take your complaint and direct the police to investigate. जो भी रेलेवेंट थाना है उन्हें इंस्ट्रक्शन दी जाएंगी कि वो इन्वेस्टिगेट करें. प्रॉब्लम विल डेफिनेटली बी रिजॉल्व. ये भी अगर बात नहीं बनती है, यू कैन डायरेक्टली फाइल एन अपील, यू कैन डायरेक्टली फाइल अ कंप्लेंट विद द डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट. आप सीधा जाके अपनी अपील डाल सकते हैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में कि आपकी सहायता नहीं करी जा रही है. द डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट हु इज अ जज सिटिंग इन द डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट और द जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट, दे हैव द पावर टू टेक योर कंप्लेंट एंड डायरेक्ट द पुलिस टू टेक एक्शन. ये पावर होती है डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट के पास. ठीक है जी. डायरेक्टली गेट इन टच विद द लॉयर, go to the district court, file a complaint there, and the police will definitely be told to help you out. ठीक है जी. Finally, some portals for everyone to remember. जहां तक साइबर क्राइम की बात है, there is a wonderful portal called Cybercrime Reporting Portal. The URL is cybercrime.gov.in. फालतू के सारे बंद कर देते हैं. There you go. cybercrime.gov.in इस पोर्टल पे जाएं. अगर महिलाओं और बच्चों के अगेंस्ट कोई सेक्सुअल ऑफेंस हो रहा है, स्पेशल सेक्शन. For everything else, go to report of the cybercrime, file a complaint here. Please remember, this is not an FIR. A complaint being filed here is not an FIR, it's just a complaint. Complaint will be transferred to the relevant police station. If they think an offense has been committed, if a crime has been committed, they will then file an FIR, and then once an FIR is filed, police will investigate, they will apprehend the accused, and then कोर्ट में सारी प्रोसीडिंग्स होगी. आपने सिर्फ कंप्लेंट दर्ज करनी है. अगर कोई साइबर क्राइम होता है तो ये बहुत ही बढ़िया एक फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड रिपोर्टिंग पोर्टल सेटअप किया गया है. द नंबर इज 155260, वर्क्स 24/7. जैसे ही फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड हो, कोई भी कहीं से पैसे चुरा ले, प्लीज कॉल दिस नंबर इमीडिएटली, 155260. ऑलमोस्ट हर स्टेट में ये अब काम कर रहे हैं, नेशनल पोर्टल बन चुका है ये. कॉल 155260 एंड इन मोस्ट केसेस द पुलिस हैज सक्सेसफुली ब्रॉट बैक द मनी विच वाज लॉस्ट. ठीक है जी. जहां तक महिलाओं की बात है, अगर महिलाओं को कंप्लेंट करनी है, कभी भी कोई परेशान कर रहा है, तंग कर रहा है, वो कोई जानकार हो, कोई स्ट्रेंजर हो, यू कैन विजिट द नेशनल कमीशन फॉर वुमेन्स रिपोर्टिंग पोर्टल. So this is, you can simply go to ncw.nic.in. ठीक है. जो राष्ट्र महिला आयोग है, इनकी वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे, ncw.nic.in. You will find the option to register a complaint. रजिस्टर कंप्लेंट पे क्लिक करेंगे तो मैंने आपको जो ये फॉर्म दिखाया था, यही फॉर्म खुलाएगा. You can simply file a complaint here, especially in cases where I'm so sorry, something else opened up. Especially in cases where the police is not helping. पुलिस अगर नई कंप्लेंट फाइल कर रही है, नहीं आपको सपोर्ट कर रहा है किसी भी तरीके से, तो आप सिंपली कमीशन के पास जाके भी कंप्लेंट फाइल कर सकते हैं, एंड दे विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प यू आउट. ठीक है जी. तो फॉर एवरीबडी, साइबर क्राइम रिपोर्टिंग पोर्टल, फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड्स के लिए 155-260. फॉर वुमेन, गो टू द NCW's वेबसाइट, गो टू रजिस्टर कंप्लेंट, यू विल फाइंड दिस फॉर्म, फिल इट अप. फॉर चिल्ड्रन, प्लीज नोट डाउन, they can visit the POCSO e-box, POCSO e-box. Simply search POCSO e-box, नेशनल कमीशन फॉर प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ चाइल्ड राइट्स, NCPCR की वेबसाइट आएगी, उस पर क्लिक करें. सिंपल स्ट्रेटफॉरवर्ड फॉर्म, एनी चाइल्ड कैन फिल इट अप. दिस इज स्पेसिफिकली फॉर चिल्ड्रन, एनीबडी बिलो द एज ऑफ 18, माइनर्स, उनके लिए ये जो कमीशन है, नेशनल कमीशन है, दे हैव सेट अप द POCSO e-box. सिंपल फॉर्म, सिंपली सर्च फॉर POCSO e-box, यू विल फाइंड द वेबसाइट. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा, कैसे परेशान किया जा रहा है. Somebody is troubling in the playground, at the shop, in the on the road. It's happening in your school or tuition center. Somebody's blackmailing. It's happening through the internet. It's somebody known, like a family member, relative. It's somebody in the school bus or a van. Whatever situation you are in, choose the situation you are in or situations that you are in. Fill in the basic details. Enter this code and click on submit. The complaint directly goes to the National Commission and the child will definitely be helped. One more option is the 1098 child line. 1098 जो number है child line India Foundation का, this is the national reporting portal. Simply ask the child to memorize this number. 1098 पे phone करे, toll free number है, and the child will definitely be helped out. And if the child needs to be rescued, that will also be arranged within a matter of 30 minutes. That's how prompt these people are. So with this, I come to the end of my session. A big thank you to everybody for listening to me so patiently. I understand this may have been an overload of information, but I've tried to give you as much information as I could in the minimum amount of time. So I hope this was useful for all of you. Please do share this with all your family members and your friends. If there are any questions that you have, we'll try to address them in the next 10 minutes. And if there's any personal problem that you're facing and you want us to assist you, you can contact us on our WhatsApp helpline number. This is a text-based helpline. We only, assist through text right now because small team, but we're in the process of setting up a chatbot, and very soon we'll be providing 24/7 assistance. So please do bear with us till then. We are available Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So do let us know if you have any problems. You can just drop us a message with your name, your problem, and we'll be happy to help you out. And if at all we are unable to help you, we'll at least connect you with the relevant authorities who should be able to redress your issues. If you don't use WhatsApp for any reason, if you're not on WhatsApp, you can also drop us a mail at helpline@cyberpeace.net. So the helpline works on mail, it works on WhatsApp. Let us know what problems you're facing and we'll try our best to help you out. So once again, thank you everybody. If there are any questions, we can take them in the next 10 minutes.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for this wonderful session. This was a really power pack session, and a lot of things were discussed in a very short period of time. And it was I really enjoyed at my end, I would say. And my colleagues were also saying it was very good session. They also enjoyed. And I think all of us who are attending this session, they have enjoyed a lot, and there was a lot of things to learn. I have got some questions which I'd like to take up. One, Mr. Narendra Vyas, he's saying, when I work on any site of income tax or net banking or any other site, they trace what I am doing. I clean the tracker through CCleaner. Is the tracking really harmful from my laptop working?
Okay, so ideally hota kya hai? Tracking, now again, there are different ways in which you may be tracked. The simplest is through cookies. Even if you try to clear trackers, if you have stored cookies in your device, those cookies may contain trackers which can be used to keep track of your activities. So to ensure that you are not tracked in any way, the best would be, number one, use better browsers. Don't rely just on Google Chrome. Try using DuckDuckGo, try using Brave, try using other browsers which are known to be more secure and known to be more, more concerned about your privacy as compared to Google Chrome. I love Google Chrome, has given me all the answers to all my questions, but still there are lots of problems people do face on Chrome. So number one, switch to Brave, switch to DuckDuckGo. Number two, after all your internet activities, at the end of the day, clear your search history, clear your cache, clear your cookies. Whatever browser you're using, uske settings mein jaएं, go to settings, and you will find the option to clear cookies. You clear that, and to a great extent, all the harmful entities which may have been installed or may have been saved in your system, they are going to be removed. That's number one. Number two is, do keep constantly scanning your device, because sometimes what happens is, it's not just cookies that are tracking. It is possible you clicked on something and a third party file gets installed. So maybe the spyware or maybe the malicious file is installed on your device itself. So use a good antivirus software to keep scanning your device, to keep scanning your downloads. And these two will help you stay safe to a great extent. Mostly cookies ka khel hota hai. So whatever browser you're using, go to the browser settings, clear the cookies, clear everything that has been stored in your device, and you should be good to go. Also, one last thing is, a lot of websites, they take permissions to access your laptop as well. A lot of websites, when you visit them, they'll say, this website wants to access your location. For example, if I visit the Big Basket website, app to hai hi, even if I visit the website will say, we want to access your location, so that they can identify if my location is serviceable or not. If I say yes, that website can access my location. Similarly, other permissions are asked by websites as well. For example, access to microphone, access to camera. So websites also, if they're malicious and if you've given them unnecessary permissions, they may record you secretly. ये spyware का ही हिसाब हो जाता है. So again, not to get scared, not to worry. In addition to clearing cookies and everything, also keep a track of your site settings. ठीक है जी, let me just quickly show you the same thing on Google as well. तो ये मैं अपना Google Chrome मैंने खोल दिया है. I go to the 3 dots and go to settings. Go to settings and you will search for something called site settings. ठीक है, मैं आपको specifically Google Chrome का दिखा रही हूँ. You have to search for other browsers. So I go to my Google Chrome, go to settings. I search for site settings. Control what information sites can use. तो जो permissions मैंने mobile का दिखाया था, the same thing comes here. Who can access my location? Who can access my camera? Who can access my microphone? Who can give me notifications? Control all the settings. Do not give any unnecessary permission to any website and you will be good to go. So I hope this answers your question.
Yes, I would like to know, how often do we need to clear the cookies?
I would recommend every day. Would recommend every day in the evening. Before रात को मतलब, because I work late nights also, so whenever 11 बजे 12 बजे, whenever I'm turning off my laptop, habit है open Google Chrome, clear history. Because you visit so many websites every day. मान लो shopping ही कर रहे हो, मान लो you're shopping today and from Amazon you wanted to compare prices, you went to Flipkart. From Flipkart you saw a new website giving you a 1+1 deal. There are so many websites you click on. So it's virtually impossible for us to make a note mentally or even otherwise of every single thing. So as a habit, if you are somebody who is using your laptop very frequently, अगर laptop पे ही काम चलता है internet के through, every day in the end of the day, when you're leaving your office or even at home when you're finishing your work, as a habit, clear everything on your browser and then shut down the laptop. As a practice, this would be safe.
The next question is from Mr. Ramakrishna Pusarla. Is there a forum where we can furnish these type of issues for further action by the concerned persons? I think we have already discussed this.
Yes. All the portals, cybercrime reporting portal हो गया है. For women, there is NCW's portal. So all these portal देखिए दुनिया में बहुत सारे हैं. But again, you should only contact government bodies. Because random portal, if you go to some random consumer forum and furnish your complaint, you never know who's going to call you. Remember social engineering, we spoke about that. So portals बहुत हैं, but only visit and trust websites that end in nic.in or gov.in because these are government authorized websites, government websites. So we've already spoken about that. Or information, let us know through the helpline. We'll be happy to assist you.
Next question. In your presentation, you have presented several mobile numbers. Those numbers are in all likelihood are of scamsters. Can we submit such numbers to any government agency for initiating investigation?
Absolutely. Now, let's say if you are not directly the aggrieved party, आपके साथ fraud नहीं हुआ है, कहीं से आपको पता चल गया. Maybe someone tried committing a fraud with you. For example, the KBC case. Somebody texted you कि भाई आप 25 लाख की लॉटरी जीत गई, आपको पता है कि उल्लू बना रहा है. So what you can do is the cybercrime reporting portal. That portal itself has an option of becoming a volunteer. ठीक है? So you can simply go to the cybercrime reporting portal. You can register yourself as a cyber volunteer. देखो cyber volunteer, and you can flag such content. You can let them know through the portal कि देखो भाई इस नंबर से fraud चल रहा है, please take action. Or you can directly contact your state police as well. Simply drop them a direct message through Twitter, through Instagram, whatever mode is possible. You can directly contact law enforcement. Let's say if you're sitting in Gujarat and Gujarat में एक number viral जा रहा है, सिर्फ गुजरात में phone आ रहा है और किसी state में नहीं देखने को मिल रहा है. So Gujarat police would be the best people to take care of it. So as a volunteer, you can inform directly through the cybercrime portal. You can let us know. We work very closely with the police of every state in India. So I will once again show you the helpline number before we close, maybe in the last 130 seconds or something. Let us know, यहाँ पे ये number से ये fraud हो रहा है. We'll be happy to flag it to the relevant authorities. On your own, you can visit the cybercrime reporting portal. You can contact the police and you can let them know what is happening using what numbers and what email IDs.
Okay. Next question is, please mention the safe browsers. I noted DuckDuckGo. You said some other. I think you said Brave.com.
Brave, yes, Brave. बाकी आप search कीजिए. You simply search safest browsers 2021. 10 का list मिल जाएगा आपको. So DuckDuckGo and Brave I use, which is why I'm recommending. There are many more options. So all you need to do is search. So whatever Google पे ही जाके search करो, safest browsers of this year, you will find the top 10 list done by credible people like TechCrunch and Digit and all. उनका read करके you can get more options as well.
Okay. The next question is, ransomware has affected even Azure Cloud. How do we safeguard ourselves?
So mostly as an individual or even as a company, ransomware comes through links and through attachments. So no matter who is sending you a link or an attachment, make it a point to scan it first using an antivirus, software, anti-malware software. And before clicking, make sure you know what it contains. If you're expecting, an attachment, then you can click on it. If it's an unexpected attachment, even if it is from somebody within your company, within your friend circle, or somebody in your family, unless you know what it is for, don't click on it. Because these ransomware files, this is so small. The minute you click on the file, within a split second, it will get installed. बड़ी files नहीं कि आप उसको बैठ के cancel कर पाए. If it's a file which is 10 MB, 20 MB, even if it takes only 3 seconds, you at least have those 3 seconds to cancel the download. But these files are so small in size, there'll be no time. आपने पल के झपकाया वो download हो गया. So before you click on a link, before you open an attachment, cross-check, verify what it is for. Unless you are certain what it is for, don't click on it. Because इसी के through ransomware आता है. So just be careful of links and attachments and you will be safe.
Another question from CA Lalit Kumar Kejriwal. Sometimes I receive WhatsApp messages from the persons who are not in my contact list. Needed them. If I block message from persons who are not on my contact list, I may miss many important messages. What to do?
So there's no solution to this, because the only way to stop people from contacting you is by blocking them. So if you're receiving it from random people, and if you know for a fact that they are scammers or they're unnecessarily troubling you or they are spam, then blocking is the only option. Otherwise, this is something that, WhatsApp hasn't done anything about right now. And I think honestly, if there is a feature like this, it will kind of defeat the purpose as well, because as you yourself said, if you start blocking, you might miss important information. So there is no option as of now. Maybe have two different numbers, one for work and one for personal. I mean, that's a personal level. You'll have to figure something out. But from a platform perspective, there isn't much which can be done. For groups, but on the other hand, for groups, you can. I did talk about the setting where you can restrict who can add you to groups. But personal chats is something you will individually, for every contact, you'll have to choose if you want to block them or not.
Okay. Next is my bank accounts have no online transfer facility. I can withdraw only by drawing a check. Whether still there is any risk of debit from my account?
No, if your online net banking hasn't been activated, then it won't work. ये properly आपको form भरवा के activate करवाना पड़ता है. You have to link your debit card and all that. So if you haven't activated these features, then there's no problem. हाँ, ये अलग बात है, किसी ने आपका आधार लेके आपके पीछे अगर activate करा, that's a different risk altogether. But that's a very long process, and if you're careful with your Aadhaar and with the photocopies of Aadhaar you're submitting everywhere, you should be good to go. It's a very far-fetched thing. Possibility is always there. But it's not that simple, so nobody will go down that route, not to worry.
Actually, we are submitting our Aadhaar cards, photocopies to so many people. It's
exactly.
Very
exactly. So, iska kya rehta hai na, you please draw a line and you write what it is for. It's a standard practice. If you're submitting and a copy, be it for a hotel booking, be it for verification anywhere, just एक line खींच के just write there for ID verification, hotel booking. For ID verification, rent, whatever it is, write the purpose so that even if someone tries to misuse, the purpose is clearly written. And then later it will be easier for you also to claim कि भाई तू कहीं और से आपने fraud किया है. So it becomes easy. You can do that.
Next question is permissions. Where to find permissions for iPhone?
iPhone, देखिए iPhone I don't have, but what I would request is you can just go to settings, go to your settings and ऊपर आप permissions type कीजिए. Go to the settings section in your iPhone and just search for permissions at the top. You should be able to find it. If not, just drop us a message on the helpline number. I'll be showing it again in the next 5 minutes. Drop us a message on the helpline number. We'll quickly check and we'll get back to you on that. I personally am not aware, but my team definitely would be. I'm so sorry for that. But I'll check and I'll get back to you. Now, usually settings, we just search permissions, you'll be able to find the option.
Yeah. Next question is many times, many play apps appear on my mobile and start playing without my downloading. I have to close my mobile to get rid of the same. So any solution for this?
This happens, even if you have one application which is not, very trustworthy, which is malicious, many times one wrong app does start downloading many more apps. तो आपने ऐप ए डाला होगा, उसने खुद ही ऐप बी, ऐप सी, ऐप डी सब इंस्टॉल कर दिया. That is a possibility. So what I would recommend is you open your mobile, you go to Play Store. If it's an Android, go to Play Store, and inside Play Store there is a feature called Play Protect. ठीक है जी, I'll try showing it in my device as well. Go to Play. I'll repeat it once again. You can maybe try it out or maybe note it down. If you have an Android phone, go to Play Store. And there's a feature called Play Protect. You simply click on it. What Play Protect does is Play Protect will scan your phone. It will, देखो, I opened Play Store. I clicked on my account, and there is a feature called Play Protect. Simply click on it. It is, and you have the option of scanning. ठीक है जी? You scan your device. If there is any application which Play Store thinks is risky, no harmful apps found. मतलब मैंने सब कुछ सही डाउनलोड किया है. If you scan and if Play Protect tells you, bhai, there is this app which is shady, that is your problem. At least the root cause you will be able to identify. एक option तो ये हो गया है. Option 2 is you take a backup of your important data. It can be your, not everything पूरे phone का मत लेना. If you take a backup of your entire phone, ये जो adware जो भी additionally extra जो आ गया है, इसका भी backup बन जाएगा. So only take a backup of the important information like your gallery, your contacts, take a backup and then format your phone, install all the apps again. This way, whatever malicious app has been installed, it will be deleted automatically. So 2 options, try them out, they'll work.
The last question, this kind of message is going on very frequently nowadays. Like, hi, Mr. or Mrs. Something, Flipkart urgently recruits part-time, full-time job, maximum salary this, accept job on WhatsApp and a WhatsApp number. So, I don't know. The question is not, I think it's just a...
Okay, so job fraud. I think in the context of job frauds.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, Flipkart does hire people, but koi bhi aapko message aaye, be it in any company's name, the first thing to do is please visit the official career page of that company. So Facebook has a page called careers.facebook.com. So that is the official page of Facebook where all the job openings are posted. So similarly, Flipkart also, whatever company name it is there, visit their official website, visit their careers page, or go to LinkedIn and check their official account there. If at all there are vacancies, it will be clearly listed there. These are basically job frauds. They will call you and they will say, "Arey, 50,000 per month we'll pay you. You give us 1,000 rupees for training." And when it's a salary of 50,000 per month, 1,000 doesn't seem like a big deal. People will happily pay it, and then the scam has happened. Their money is gone. वो आपको block कर देंगे. कल आप पता नहीं कर पाओगे कहाँ से आपको phone आया था. So sometimes it's true, but in most cases it's a scam. So if at all you're getting a job offer, go to the official website of the company or go to their official LinkedIn pages, cross-check if they even have a job like that and then apply. One important tip, no company asks for money to give you a job, not even a rupee. Especially companies like Google, Oracle, jitne bade tech giants hai, they don't ask you for even a single penny. Rather, they go extra, they pay to train you. They are not going to ask you for money. So anybody asks money in the name of registration, training, it's all a scam. Please run away and report it. So I hope that kind of gives a bit more light on what to believe and what not to.
Yes, thank you, madam. And there are a lot of remarks that they have enjoyed the session and it was a wonderful session. And thank you from our side also. We have also enjoyed a lot. And some people would, there's a question on where we can get the PPT and things. Actually, we will be uploading this video on our ICAI TV. And so all the members can log in through DLH and watch the video anytime they want. It will be on the CSR portal also and on ICAI TV. So you can always go through and ask your friends and colleagues also to go through. I think this is a very important session which we should all be aware. Even I myself have been victim of frauds. Last year, I think I had fallen to Facebook. I had purchased something through Facebook and that money had gone. And I couldn't trace that person also. So I think all of us have faced kind of situations and we should be aware. So thank you, madam. Thank you for this wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. And very quickly, just, I'll just quickly share the helpline number once again. अगर बचे हुए questions है, हो सकता है हमने question miss out कर दिया, or maybe you have a follow-up question, or even in the future if something goes wrong, I'll just quickly show you this for just 10 more seconds and then we'll close. Just take a screenshot of this, just note it down. It runs on on WhatsApp and on mail. Let us know if you're facing any problems and we'll be happy to help you out. So once again, thank you, everybody. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
ये कार्ड पे ऑटोमेटिकली